You can feel it the moment Time Stranger starts. That feeling of a series stepping back into the light like it never left. I'm not talking out of nostalgia or because of my love for Digimon. Digimon Story Time Stranger is probably the peak point of Digimon games. Time Stranger simply refuses to be good for a Digimon game and straight aims for something bigger, something like one of the best RPGs of 2025, and possibly trying to crown itself with the title of Best Digimon Game Ever. Time Stranger is a modern JRPG with bones, with heart full of love for the Digimon IP and a digital world that finally feels really alive. I'm Arcadenaut here, and today I will introduce you possibly the best way to enter Digimon franchise. I'm here to show you why Time Stranger might be the best Digimon game ever made by pulling every thread that matters. Story, systems, weather, world building, all you need to know if you are curious about Time Stranger. You are an agent of Adamas, a shadow team keeping humanity safe from reality-warping anomalies. Time Stranger starts with a catastrophe called the Shinjuku Inferno that tears your present to pieces. Two factions of Digimon armies clash in the world as the humanity is forced to use Digimon exterminating weapons to end all this war. Within this three-sided war, an anomaly appears and slings you 8 years into the past, before the Shinjuku Inferno. We find ourselves in a time where Digimon first starts to appear in the world and the narrative dares you to unknot a timeline before it collapses. Across time, we get to meet Inori Misono and a newly born Digimon called Aigyo-mon, as these two supportive characters become the anchor of the narrative and accompany us through our journey through Shinjuku, across time and, of course, the Digimon world. Time Stranger's opening hits like a flare. It is fast, it is dramatic, and cleanly staged. Way faster than the previous Digimon Story experience, Cyber Sleuth, so Time Stranger already starts to feel like it would be a journey full of action, cutscenes even during its prologue. From the very beginning, there is a sense that you are walking through a living narrative, a world that has aged with its audience but also still protecting its Digimon world feeling. Where Cyber Sleuth framed its story as a digital noir, Time Stranger embraces something bolder. A temporal epic blending sci-fi mystery with heartfelt emotion. A story full of time paradoxes, sometimes reminding me the Terminator, but with Digimon's narrative that is dramatic, heartwarming, full of hope and sadness all mixed together in a harmony. Time Stranger feels like Digimon did grow up with its audience without abandoning the younger fans. Sometimes it really feels grimdark but never abandons its emotionally earnest side. It doesn't lecture you about paradoxes or anything, but it shows you a side of Digimon that feels humane. You see this in moments like a Shalmon risking everything to help a wounded Titan Digimon, or Bear Brothers' mischiefs across both main missions and side stories, each expanding the world and every Digimon you encounter. These are not just NPCs but with characters carrying soul and importance. And this is where the series' classic Bonds Under Pressure theme lands with surprising weight. It is a closer to a Digimon anime arc you can play, with twists that respect your investment in every way. Is it perfect? Sadly no. Given that Time Stranger's silent protagonist mute scenes that should detonate, Time Stranger feels like it could have been perfect with a bigger budget. Although you have multiple dialogue choices that reflects your character, having a silent protagonist in such a deep narrative feels like a missed opportunity. In between all this time journey, Digimons, wars and catastrophe, the best is yet to come. I'm a big Digimon World fan. Since its first PlayStation 1 title, I played every Digimon World, spent countless of hours since I was maybe 5 or 6. So trust me on this one when I say Time Stranger has the best, the most vibrant and the most alive Digimon world ever crafted in a video game. The central town is a living hub. It feels more alive and vibrant than most of MMORPGs can deliver. Digimons run shops, they argue, they patrol, they bully each other, chit-chat, or simply just exist without waiting for you to press a button. And this living, dynamic Digimon World atmosphere is at its peak. Even Digimon World Next Order never had such a breathing Digimon world or a hub area that you actually feel a part of. From the central town to Digimons inhabiting Shinjuku or the Digimon world, one of Time Stranger's greatest triumph is in how alive its worlds feel. The digital world of Iliad, where the most of our journey takes place, isn't just an area full of dungeons to be completed, but each region features its own hub town with its own inhabitants, its own leaders and enemies. You will see Digimon working in shops, relaxing in taverns or wandering the streets, not just standing still and waiting for your interaction. Time Stranger's way of doing things is, it pulls you in quietly. You find yourself talking to an NPC Digimon out of curiosity, and suddenly you are roped in a side story about their lost partner. Or maybe about a Titan's curse that would help you to earn anomaly points so you can unlock more agent skills and increase your agent rank. And basically, higher your agent rank is, more Digimons you can digivolve into and stronger your team becomes. Simply by enjoying the game, you get to find yourself or a farm in Central Town with your Mega Digivolve Digimons. And feel a really good kind of sense of accomplishment by your experience. Even the smallest side quests, maybe a simple fetch mission or a side story that leads to a local battle, they all tie back into broader narrative threads, feeding into your agent rank and skill points that directly impact your gameplay and combat. Whatever you do, each side mission or content, they do not feel like filler. Everything has purpose, and with that, the digital world of Iliad feels like the most immersive environment the franchise has ever offered. If you played Cyber Sleuth, maybe enjoyed it, maybe loved it, maybe hated it or found it okay or mediocre, Time Stranger does everything way better than how Cyber Sleuth delivered. So whether you like Cyber Sleuth or not, Time Stranger definitely deserves your time, or at least a chance to prove itself. Every Digimon game promises a depth that is unique to these series, but Time Stranger actually makes it somehow more addictive and open to experiment than Cyber Sleuth. In Time Stranger, raising a Digimon isn't about rushing to Mega Form or filling a dex. It's never linear but open for any kind of shaping through your decisions or just curiosity. You start with scan data. These are fragments you earn from each encounter. If these data scans reach 100%, you get to convert them to real Digimon. That means if you encounter a Digimon that looks cool to you, all you need to do is to fight against that Digimon until the scan data reaches 100%. Or if you wait until 200%, then you will summon a stronger variant with higher potential. Some of these can even digivolve as soon as you convert them to your party, and with the agent skills you unlock that grant attribute bonuses or easier digivolution requirements, just imagine how many paths you can take to form your team of 6. However, what is also new with Time Stranger is how the game handles personality and traits. Basically, each Digimon can develop unique attributes like valor, philanthropy, understanding, wisdom and heart, and these are tied to 16 personality types. But here's the twist, those traits aren't static. You can nurture, alter or even completely reshape a Digimon's personality through dialogue choices, or maybe Digifarm training, or feeding them items that align with certain temperaments. That means you can alter your Digimon however you see fit, or depending on the Digivolution route you simply aim for. If you want to have an aggressive, physical-oriented Digimon, go for zealous, bold, daring. Or maybe strategic for intellect for magical attacks rather than physical damage. However, Time Stranger is the strongest and the brightest when it's about Digivolution. If there is one thing that truly defines Time Stranger, it is how it reimagines the concept of Digivolution. Evolutions feel like a constellation. It's huge, a wide-spreading tree of possibilities that lets you sculpt your perfect Digimon through trial and error, creativity, or desperation. Each line offers multiple branches and you can de-digivolve at will, inheriting status bonuses from past forms and redirecting them towards the new ones. This freedom of experimenting is rewarding, and that reward is simply addictive, that addiction is intoxicating. It is up to you to experiment endlessly, pushing your team towards synergy instead of just power, but that intoxicating part is all about having the same feeling you had as a kid, watching Digimon for the first time. That thrill of evolution, not as a level up mechanic, but as a moment of identity. Hours simply disappeared as I grinded for experience points while trying to level up my Digimons just to see what kind of Digivolution routes were waiting for me. Knowing that I would be overleveled, trying to discover more and more Digivolutions, I realized that playing Time Stranger on hard difficulty was the correct choice. All of the boss fights, the encounters rely more on team compositions here, elements and attributes, strengths and weaknesses. All this combat depth, these gameplay mechanics are in unison with the Digimons you have, about your team compositions and how well you are prepared. Because Time Stranger offers over 450 Digimon, with each of them feeling distinct, expressive, and true to their roots. Each Digimon's model has been reworked, animated, and detailed with more life than ever before in the series, totally worked on what Cyber Sleuth presented 10 years ago. From the first, second, or the third season's familiar Digimons of Agumon, Vmon to Renamon, even lesser known species like Locomon, Titomon, or Crestmon, they all look phenomenal here. Their personalities come through visually, from their own unique moves to how they carry you across the maps. Basically, the visual fidelity across so many Digimons is so impressive that, especially considering the size of the roster. Whether you are using small champions or massive mega Digimons, every Digimon moves like it has weight and intention. From all of these Digimons, whether Gallantmon's, Balzimon's, or Seraphimon's impactful attacks to how Lilithmon loves during an ultimate attack, these small things make Time Stranger memorable. It is built on those small things to provide a dynamic, memorable experience. If you're a Digimon fan or a newcomer who is intoxicated by this Digivolution and discoveries, I would definitely recommend you to play either on medium or hard difficulty, because all of those grinds, those efforts feel accomplishing and worthy with a tactical boss fight that doesn't want you to mash commands. Time Stranger wants you to think, to adapt, and to learn the basic rules. The core combat follows the classic turn-based format. 3 active Digimon and 3 in reserve, as each Digimon carries an attribute type from vaccine to virus or data. These are basically a rock paper scissors system, and layered on top of are elements like fire, water, earth, light and dark. Stacking these correctly multiplies your effectiveness, sometimes hitting up to 400% damage when you align both advantage and element types, and the boss fights definitely punish you for ignoring this. A fire type mega won't save you from a well-timed water counter no matter how much you trained it. Or you won't probably stand a chance if you face a data type boss with a 6 Digimon team consisting vaccines and 3 types that doesn't have any advantages or disadvantages. And in hard mode, The system truly blossoms. The enemies hit harder, resist more, and force you to rotate party members constantly, making every Digimon you race so far meaningful and impactful. And just for that, Time Stranger deserves to be mentioned as one of the best RPG titles of this year. You may think that I say these words just because I'm a Digimon fan, but I didn't talk this much about Digimon Survive when I played that. If you feel some kind of curiosity within you, maybe about Digimon, about the IP, or about Time Stranger, you definitely won't regret it. At the end of the day, Time Stranger is a reminder of why we fell in love with this series in the first place. That mix of warmth, discovery, and connection that no other franchise captures. Time Stranger is not perfect, but it is definitely one of the best Digimon experiences ever made. It feels alive, it believes in its world, and maybe that's what makes Time Stranger so special. It is not trying to chase nostalgia, but it is creating new memories for a new generation. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. Have you played Time Stranger? If you do, which Digimons are in your team? If there is any other Digimon title you wish me to delve further, be sure to share them by the comments below. Any humble support through Patreon and YouTube join is really appreciated, and I will see you soon in my next video.